Morning, guys. Well, it's morning for me, but morning, afternoon, good night, whatever it is for you. Thanks for tuning in. It's Josh here with Buckeye Bowhunter, and today I have a different kind of video for you. It's going to be kind of cool. I'm just sitting here in my office going through some old trail cameras and trying to organize some old pictures and stuff like that, and kind of get a plan or maybe see what I want to do for next year, this upcoming season. Got a couple tree stands I need to hang still, and some lanes and stuff I need to trim, and some paths I need to mow, but that's besides the point. That's not what this video is about. This video is about a specific trail camera. I kind of want to explain to you this one trail camera, why I installed it, where I did, show you all the videos and footage and stuff that I got from it, because it's pretty cool. I just kind of want to get that video out there as well, but kind of use this as like a learning experience, because I feel like I learned a lot from this trail camera. I hunted a property last year that was new to me last year, I guess. I had hunted it in turkey season, but I had never deer hunted it before. So I hunted it throughout the year a few times, throughout the early season and during the rut a couple times. I didn't have much luck. I saw a few nice deer. I have a couple videos online, actually. If you've watched any of my older hunting videos, you've probably seen footage from this property. It's a pretty interesting property, super thick. I actually just hung a new stand on that property a few days ago, so I got a link in the description below if you're interested in seeing that video. But it's a super thick bedding area property. It's really kind of hard to access. It's a long linear property. I got one road that I can access from, so you're kind of stuck only hunting on specific winds. A lot of times I was bumping deer getting back into it, but I feel like that's all part of the learning process of when you get a new property and kind of figuring it out. So right around early December, I decided I wanted to get a camera out there to just kind of see what bucks are left, or if there was any rutting activity going on, or what bucks were calling the place home. I wanted kind of an area that was easy to get to, but still going to have a lot of deer movement. I didn't really care if it was nighttime or daytime. So I ended up setting this trail camera up in a pretty cool spot, actually. And I don't have video of me setting it up or anything, but I'll explain it to you real quick. It was really close to the road, really close to a couple houses, actually, too. So I wasn't expecting a lot of daytime movement, but I just wanted to know what bucks were using the area. And believe it or not, where I parked my truck all season last year, there was just a ton of sign, a ton of scrapes, rubs, trails, all kinds of stuff in this whole big, it's kind of a mowed, like wooded area that the landowner kind of keeps maintained a few times a year. And the deer love it. Now, one walk through the area and you could kind of figure out, like, this is probably all nighttime activity because of its proximity to the road, how open it is, and the nearby houses and all that stuff. But if there's all this sign in there, there's got to be bucks in there making it. I want to know what bucks are doing it. Let's put a camera out. So I just put a Bushnell. It's one of these Bushnell HDs, I think you get for 99 bucks at Walmart. Really cheap camera. It's not a cell camera or anything like that. So I wanted to make sure I put it in an area where it was easy to get to. I wasn't bumping deer. I could check it, in 5 minutes on my way home from work or something like that. So I decided to put this camera in on the highest point on the property, just because I had two big intersecting tractor paths. It kind of butted up right next to some really thick bedding that went down into this big river bottom. I could walk right to it easy, check the camera, pull the card, put a new card in, walk out, rubber boots. It was like I was never there. It was pretty awesome. Just to spice up the spot a little bit, there was a big oak tree that was like right there with a huge branch coming out over the intersection. All I did was kind of cut a limb in half so that it would like hang down in the middle of the two tractor paths, and made a big mock scrape underneath it. And I think that really helped it out, because deer were in there immediately hitting the scrape. And I learned a lot from this camera. I got a ton of really cool video. And I don't usually use the video settings on any of my trail cameras, but I think I'm going to start doing it a lot more often, because this was really cool. It's just cool seeing the bucks. You get to see like every angle of their antlers and like really learn about them. It's a lot better than getting like a blurry photo of a buck where you're like, I think it's him, I don't know, it's hard to tell. So in conclusion, one of the main things that I learned was, first off, there's probably a lot more bucks walking around on your property than you think. What you're about to see is just a very small sample size of what I actually had on this camera. I had probably almost 30 different bucks on this property. And I'm in northeastern Ohio. It's not like we have insane deer numbers or population numbers like that at all. Our buck to doe ratios are actually pretty out of whack. It's probably more like 1 to 4, 1 to 6, as opposed to like, you know, in other areas like Iowa where it's like 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. I also learned that bucks really like to reopen up scrapes after it snows or it rains. You see on the camera, the snow come through, everything be covered, and that night I'd have 6 or 7 different bucks hit the scrape in January at the same, you know, within a 7-8 hour period. And that was another pattern that I kind of noticed, was that bucks really, they all kind of would hit the scrape at the same time, the same like 6 to 8 hour period every few days. It seems like, well, if you'd have a buck, you know, show up on January 20th, you'd have 3 or 4 different bucks show up on January 20th. And then you wouldn't have any bucks for the next like 3 or 4 days. I'm not sure why that is, if, you know, the wind direction or a doe would come into estrus or something like that in that area. Maybe one buck pees in it and that attracts all the bucks in the area for the next 2 or 3, 6 hours until you've had every buck in that area come through. Not sure why. It was just a kind of an interesting thing I noticed. But the really big takeaway, I think, from this is having a camera like that on one of your properties. So a camera that is easy to get to, that you're not going to be spooking deer. Even though all I got was night pics, probably less than 5% of my pictures on that camera were daytime pics. I think I still learned a lot. You don't necessarily have to have all your cameras next to your tree stands to help you find that buck moving during daylight. You know, put trail cameras out in easy to get to areas for all the reasons I've listed before this, you know, just to help you put that overall puzzle together. It's gonna help you, I promise. You learn what bucks are moving through your property, what time they're moving, what directions they're coming from, during what wind directions they're moving, or what direction they're coming from based on the wind direction. Are there other deer moving through there that they're following? All kinds of information. You know, there's one thing to say, you know, setting up a camera just to get cool video and cool pictures, which I did get. But you know, to dismiss that as just that, just because it's all night photos, just because it's in an area you're not going to hunt, I don't think is very intuitive or helpful at all. A camera like that can really help you improve your hunting. Any extra information you can get from your properties is going to help you. Not to mention that time of year, I was really having trouble getting on a buck, getting on a deer, or getting the motivation to get out there and get on a deer. I was hunting that Frank buck for, you know, most of the season, and I hadn't seen him since November 8th or something like that. And at that point in the year, I was pretty much like, man, I don't think it's going to happen. And these videos, this trail camera kind of gave me that extra like, oh crap, there's still bucks moving around. I might still be able to make this happen, and gave me the motivation to get back out there and hunt hard during that late season. But yeah, watch this video, kind of pay attention to the times and the dates that these bucks are moving and the weather that they're moving in. Maybe make your own assumptions or your own conclusions about it. It's pretty interesting to me. But I thank you guys for tuning in again. I appreciate it. If you like this at all, please hit the subscribe button below, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you guys see anything I didn't notice, or, you know, put anything together that I didn't notice or come up with, please put it in the comments below. I want to know about it. It's going to help me kill one of these bucks next year. Look out for the big 12-pointer I was trying to kill last year. I haven't got a name for him, so if you come up with a name for me, let me know. I think he was a 3-year-old, 3.5-year-old, and I think he's going to be a 4.5-year-old this year. Tell me what you think. And then there was an 8-pointer on there that I actually got video of, and I had a encounter with him while I was hunting, which I'll put the video for that in the description below as well if you're interested. But I think he was about a 4.5-year-old. Let me know what you guys think about that, and yeah, enjoy, appreciate it, thank you for watching, we'll see you guys on the next one.